It starts from the ground up. You do not have other distractions. You are far better equipped to do a better job in terms of how you start to generate better results in your business. So, differentiation is not well understood. Differentiation is not a marketing or branding initiative. Differentiation is not about your reputation. Differentiation is a strategic imperative. For your business to succeed, if you do not differentiate strategically and consider it as a holistic approach in your business, that is a fundamental core pillar of everything that you do, then you're missing an opportunity. My name's Michèle Soregaroli. I've been a professional coach since 2004. I work with professional advisors and firms in support of their differentiation, their value propositions, and their competitive advantage. I help you compete. And in doing so, by differentiating your offer and having a higher value proposition, I also help you generate higher fees. I also help you have more rewarding work. And that's what brings me joy. So let's talk a little bit about what it is about differentiation that makes it a strategic imperative today. Differentiation is something that is a holistic approach. When you are thinking about differentiating in your business, too often people think, what makes me different and how can I tell people about that? The thing about differentiation in professional services and in services generally, but in professional services specifically, you're selling advice. You're in a relationship-based business. You do have products, but your products don't differentiate you. And even your solutions don't necessarily differentiate you because your competitors, you all have the same training, the same products, and more or less the same type of advice in order to get to the solutions for your clients. So differentiation, when it's seen as a marketing activity, it's way too high level. It does not accomplish a deeply embedded strategic differentiator that causes your clients to want to continue to do business with you and to value you for why you're different, especially if you see differentiation simply as a marketing initiative. What makes you different today may not make you different next time. And differentiation, when you're doing differentiation in that way, it's not valuable. So that's just called a marketing initiative, and it's just trying to get attention. It's trying to get more bums in seats, trying to get more leads, trying to get more referrals. But it's usually a short-lived, hey, pay attention to this thing over here. This is really interesting. This is what we're doing right now. That's not differentiation. That's just marketing. When you are differentiating your offer and your business and your services, it starts from the ground up. It starts at the very basic design of your business. And it starts with you understanding what it is that is driving the way you make decisions. What is motivating you? What is under the surface of the way you have come up with your solutions? So you've got your advice, and that advice is based on beliefs. It's probably based on some of your values, and it's probably based on the vision that you have of the outcome that you're expecting or wanting for your clients. This is what's clarity. We've talked about clarity in a previous video. If you have not yet watched that video, I encourage you to do so. This video today, I want to talk to you about focus, because when you clearly understand the embedded influences inside your offer, whether it's through your backstory, because of who you were, who you have been, the experiences you've had, perhaps as a child, perhaps as a young adult, perhaps even last week. Regardless, you have experiences in your backstory that give your current value proposition more credibility. If you understand what those influences are, you are much better equipped to leverage them, tap into them, and understand the role that they play in your value proposition. So that clarity is critical. Let's move into focus now. Once you have that clarity, you have the ability to focus. Clarity is all about thinking. Focus is all about your attention, where your energy goes, where you put your focus, literally where you put your focus. Now, the thing about focus, if you just think about what that word means, simply, when you are focused on something with your eyes, when you are focused on something, everything else is out of focus. It's in the periphery. It's not important. It's been filtered out. You're not really paying attention to it. You need to do the same thing in your business. And when you focus on something, it's laser focused, it's very targeted. You cannot read a page in front of you. I have a page in front of me here, a piece of paper, right, that I'm not looking at. But when you are focused on something, reading a page, you cannot read the page beside it or the page beside that. They're not available to you. They're not available for your specific attention. They're not available for your energy, but they can seep in if you let that peripheral distraction call you back and forth. So let's imagine that you're sitting here today watching this video, and some of you probably are. You're probably watching this video while you're doing some work. Maybe you're writing or you're typing on your computer. Maybe you're not even watching the screen. That's okay. You're listening, you're doing something else, and you're problem solving in your head on something else. Or maybe you've got someone who's working beside you and you've got the background noise going on there. There's a lot of things that are drawing on your attention and drawing on your ability to focus. When you are focused, you do not have other distractions. Now, why is that valuable to you in your business? When your energy is focused on your priorities, your key outcomes, and what success looks like. What are your priorities? What are your strategic imperatives? What is going to move the needle? What is most important? When you start thinking about what is actually most important and you give yourself the ability to focus on what is going to have the biggest impact and make the greatest difference in your business, when you focus on that, a lot of the other stuff becomes less important or not at all relevant. Now, what does this do for you? Those priorities allow you the opportunity to amplify or to create better outcomes, higher quality outcomes, because your focus is funneled on being exceptionally masterful, if you will, just generating a better result because all of your attention is going on to that thing. Focus and differentiation is exactly the same around your value proposition and what you sell and what you create as value for your clients. When you understand what's at the heart of your value proposition, then the rest of it is fine because you're all doing it. All your competitors, you're all doing more or less the same thing, remember. But you have an angle, you have an edge where you're better than anybody else. And that's the focus. That's the focal point of your value proposition. That's the part where you really start to excel when you are being presented with an opportunity by a prospect. So imagine this prospect is coming to you and they have had, I don't know, half a dozen conversations maybe with your competitors. Maybe they're looking for your financial, let's say you're a financial advisor and they've talked to 3 or 4 financial advisors. They might have even been referred to a couple. Maybe they've been referred to you and they're listening to you sell your services. Right? First of all, people don't want to be sold to. So I just want to highlight that. If you are selling yourself, you're already inhibiting your ability to attract a great client. You're already getting in your own way. What they want is to understand if you're a fit for them. So your job is to understand the essence of your value proposition, to focus on the things that you excel at. What do you do better than anyone else? What do you do naturally? What are you drawn to specifically? What kind of problems most excite you? What kind of problems do you want to not have anything to do with? In other words, please don't make me, right? Those are the clients that don't fit. When you have that kind of focus in your business, what you end up doing is attracting clients who are much more likely to be successful. And because they're much more likely to be successful, they are much more likely to refer you. They are much more likely to stay and be a retained client for a long time. They're much more likely to be successful. Now, if they're successful, guess what? You are also successful. So that focus in your value proposition, that focus in your differentiators that make your value higher than anyone else's. It might be something as simple as you are a very analytical person and you analyze everything, upside down, sideways, all the details, never miss an opportunity to turn over a rock, if you will. And you are so analytical and critically thinking that you go very, very deep with something. Let's imagine that's you. Now, if this client, this prospect who's sitting across from you, if you focus on that, really that strong element of your value proposition, you got some other things that you do, of course, but where you excel is on the analysis and the understanding of the problem so that you can really solve it better. If that's you, if that makes sense to your prospect, if they're saying, this is exactly the kind of thinker I want to work with, this is the kind of thinker that I value as a partner to me in my financial future, then you have already distinguished yourself from the competitors because you have highlighted what you do well. Now, they may think, oh my gosh, I don't want to work with someone who does that much analysis. That's going to be too much for me. I don't want that. And guess what? That's okay too. If they're leaning out because that analysis is not valuable to them, not attractive to them, feels a little uncomfortable, that's actually a good thing for you, because that focus, that clarity for them gives them an opportunity to say to themselves, I'm not going to be successful in this relationship with this advisor. And you have an opportunity to recognize that you're going to frustrate this client and they're probably going to be difficult to work with because you're going to be fundamentally different. If they don't value your analysis and your desire to analyze deeply, they are highly unlikely to provide you with the kind of detailed information that you need and want in order to do the kind of analysis that you value, in order to create the solutions that you do that set you up for success with them. So that situation is doomed to fail before it even starts, because you're fundamentally not valuing the same things. This is where your focus becomes critical. If you focus on the elements of your differentiated value proposition and you stay true to those, you create better outcomes for your business and for your clients. And that helps you understand what the success metrics are. You can understand now, if you're doing those kind of analyses for a client, you know what the success metrics look like. You agree on the success metrics with your client. These are the things we analyze. These are the numbers we're looking for. This is what I'm hoping to deliver to you, etc. Right? So focus is all about priorities, outcomes, and success metrics. Once you have that kind of focus in your value proposition, you are far better equipped to do a better job when you're in action. If you watch my previous video on clarity, focus, and action are the three filters we're working on. This one's on focus today. And focus creates better action. Focus creates better activities. Focus creates better behaviors. It creates better systems. We're going to come to that next. Focus on your differentiators. They will be fundamentally different and more valuable to you than you can possibly imagine in terms of how you start to generate better results in your business. As always, if this video has been valuable to you, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and watch future videos that will help you differentiate your services even more. And I also invite you to share this information with your community. There are very likely people in your network who need to hear this message, who need to understand that differentiation and marketing are not the same thing, and focusing on the components of your value proposition that you do exceptionally well will make a fundamental difference to your success. Help them excel, help them succeed, because when we help others succeed, we also succeed. And we lift each other with the tides. Thanks for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you the next time, and bye for now.